We're back in Portsmouth, and today we're going to be asking questions for Bianca Braithwaite, the founder of Mindset Maintenance.
So what is the goal of Mindset Maintenance then?
The goal of Mindset Maintenance, and something that I've really realised over the last couple of years of doing it, is it's really about quality and not about the quantity. The last 2 live events, we got feedback that they stopped 2 people that were thinking about taking their own lives. What I wanted when I was in my 20s isn't what I want now. I almost just wanted to escape the world, and I did that by going out at the weekend and, becoming this party girl, I guess. And I don't know what it was, but I had this light bulb moment of, I'm not helping myself. If I can't be me around someone, then what does that say? The more you get into the space of well-being and speaking openly about your story and just connecting with other people and diversifying your circle, you realise you are not the only person that's been through shit. I feel like we're about to sit down for dinner.
Yeah. Amazing. All right, so Frank, welcome to the show.
I'm excited to be here.
So am I, really am. So yeah, what's going on, show? This is going to be a good one. So I guess what I like to do on this show is I like to give it over to you to give your own introduction.
Okay.
So who is Bianca Braithwaite?
My surname's actually pronounced Brathwaite.
Brathwaite?
Did you know? Yeah.
I didn't.
Because it's Bayesian.
Okay.
So it originates from Barbados. So Brathwaite in Barbados is like Smith over here.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, which is mad. I was like, what? When I learned that, I was like, that's crazy. But everyone says Braithwaite, so because that's more common over here. Anyway, I am Bianca Brathwaite, and I'm the founder of Mindset Maintenance CIC. But I'm also just a human that likes to help other people and connect with people, and at the same time learn through my own experiences and just try and navigate life in an honest way, really.
Nice.
So yeah. What kind of is that a good introduction?
That's who you are. That's who
that
you say you are.
That is literally who I am, yeah.
Okay, well, nice. Thank you. So I guess, cool. So we'll take it back. So you said your family are Asian.
Yeah.
Right? But did you grow up there? Where did you grow up?
No. My granddad moved over from Barbados on the Windrush. He came over on the Windrush when he was 18 and worked in the dockyard for the whole of his life, which is mad, right? Because we don't stick in a job from like the age of 18 to the age of 65 anymore.
Not anymore, no.
So I just think that's incredible. But I was born in Northampton.
Okay.
I was like there for like 2 weeks, so I say I'm like Portsmouth through and through, because if I didn't happen to be in Northampton at the time that my mum was like, shit, I'm having a baby, I would have been in Portsmouth. Okay. So I'm a Portsmouth girl. We grew up, me and my mum lived in a flat in Goldsmith Avenue. Until I was 12 years old. Moved up to Waterlooville with my old man. So my mum and my old man got together when I was like 4, 5, and then they had my sister. And we all grew up in Waterlooville from the age of 12, and I've lived there ever since.
Okay, Waterlooville girl.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
So what was school like for you then?
Do you know what? The main memory I have of school is that I was that person that just got on with everyone, because you've got these different people in school. You've got like, I hate to say it now, it makes me feel bad to say it, but like the unpopular kids, the kids that are just alternative, they're doing their own thing, they're not overly, like, it's just mad, isn't it, to think back that there was these different, but that's how the world works, unfortunately. But so I got along with the popular kids, I got along with the the geeky kids, the grungers, the chavs. Like I was kind of just sat one in the middle. I was like, hey guys, it's just nice to make friends with everyone. I mean, not every, you know, I probably now I'm in my 30s would say more acquaintances, but it's nice to be nice, you know. So I was definitely that person that just got on with everyone. And it's funny you ask what was school like for me, because I found my school report from secondary school last week when I was clearing out my flat, and the main thing was like, she lacks concentration. Like, she's really good when she gets into it, but she's got to stop being distracted by other people and then going off and chatting. And I was like, yeah, that is me. So that was what school was like for me.
Okay. I mean, did you come out with good grades? Was that important to you?
I don't think it was.
Okay.
I actually don't think it was. I probably felt different at the time. I got good grades in things that I was really interested in.
Yeah.
Art, tech, you know, like I got C's, B's. Maths, I got like I don't even know. It was like don't even worry about it. You probably need to redo it if you're going to think about doing anything to do with maths, but hey, we've got calculators now, it's fine. I got C in English, you know, like,
nice.
We were so fussed about that at the time, but actually I really think we live in a world now where it doesn't really matter too much, because when you find your thing, as long as you've got the passion and the drive, you know, like, PE wasn't my thing in school. I hated it. I used to pretend to get a sprained ankle when I started on the field and be like, oh, I can't do it now, can I? And now I'm a fitness instructor, for, you know, as one of my professions, and I love it because I love connecting with people, and that's what it's all about. And I think if you truly believe in your passion, then it just comes and you pick it up, and when you want to learn something, you will learn it, you know. So yeah, I think the grades, they're not everything.
All right, nice. So touched on that, we've done school.
Yeah.
Are you the only child, or have you got like a family?
I've got my sister. Yeah.
My
sister is
that's nice.
21 now.
Wow. Big sister vibes.
I am, but yeah, there's a big age gap. She has always been like the baby sister, which is mad. And yeah, I've got other like half brothers and sisters. They live in Bournemouth, so that's like with my biological father. So yeah, they're all off doing, and it's nice to like, you know, see everything that they're doing. Like one of them went to Australia recently, so it's nice to like watch and see what everyone's doing. But yeah, my sister Madison, yeah, she goes to university. She's based in Brighton, and she just is. Yeah, having a great time. She lives with her girlfriend, is with their housemates, and I think they're just always out partying. And I just think, yeah, fair.
Vibes.
yeah, I was doing exactly the same at 21.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right, well, so taking us there then. So cool, we've come out of school.
Yeah.
You said grades weren't all that to you. So what was the next step for you then after that?
Do you know what? I guess for most of my 20s, I was just kind of navigating and figuring out life. And I don't know if we ever truly... What I can see now is we definitely go through different levels in our lives.
How do you mean?
And I think what we want changes. I think we constantly evolve into different versions of ourselves. So what I wanted when I was in my 20s isn't what I want now. And actually... what I wanted at the beginning of my 30s isn't what I want now, because we're constantly evolving and shedding this skin and learning new things and, you know, realising and understanding what life is and what it means to us. So when I was in my 20s, I was working, you know, I worked in corporate most of my life. I started in automotive, working for Inchcape car company.
Okay.
Absolutely loved it because the people were there. You know, I worked with cracking people. Some of them that I'm, you know, still really close friends with now, and those were the kind of jobs that I went for in my 20s, because my life back then was all about just having fun and going out partying and just having a laugh, and so that came into everything that I did. You know, I've always been the joker as well, so I think that always kind of naturally comes into my life somewhere. So it was like having a laugh at work, having a laugh when we're out with friends, just not taking it too seriously. I did get like partway through my 20s, so I unfortunately lost my granddad when I was 22, and then I think that's when life started to change a bit for me. 2 years after that, when I was 24, I lost my auntie. My auntie, she lived up in London with my cousin, and we got a phone call to say that she'd been injured, and she was actually killed by a next door neighbour. We went up there, got called to come up to the hospital. Unfortunately, there was nothing they could do. They tried, they tried to help, but she'd been stabbed like 33 times, and you don't ever think that that's something that will happen to you and your family. And I really try to talk about that story differently these days, because you realise that you almost become like attached to this story. And actually, you know, she passed, but she was like an amazing woman, and she'd done all this amazing stuff, and it was almost like, it's really unfortunate what happened, but I'm glad that she got to experience what she did before that point. Like, we all know that you can't change the past, and I truly believe that what has happened in my life has made me who I am today, and it's experiences like that, whether they're good experiences or whether they're that, can't talk today, whether they are horrific experiences, like whatever happens, like it shapes you into the person that you are. So I guess the rest of my 20s was probably spent just almost self-sabotage, kind of not really giving a, can I swear on here? Yeah, not really giving a fuck, just at that time I really lived in like this victim mentality of, I cannot believe this has happened to me and my family, like we are so unlucky, this is shit. Like I just wanted to escape, so there was like a lot of, you know, heavy drinking, drug use, late nights, and I just almost didn't have any respect for myself or didn't really care about anything around me. I almost just wanted to escape the world, and I did that by going out at the weekends and, you know, becoming this party girl, I guess. And that carried on until, like, I'd always had this level of me that was into looking after my well-being, personal development. Like I've trained in the gym since I was like 17 years old. But I think it was always like, I'll go out the weekend and then I'll go to the gym like every single day in the week, so it will level it out and it'll be fine. And then I'll go and do it all again, you know? Like wasn't like all in, it was kind of like 1 foot is in, 1 foot's out kind of thing. And then it got to the end of my 20s, and unfortunately we lost my cousin, my auntie's son. He ended up taking his own life, which again was awful. And I don't know if I can really say it was that kind of triggered me to change. I think it was like a collective of things that had happened over the last 10 or so years. The way that I was experiencing life, the new people that I was meeting, I think everything is like, it kind of all comes together. And then we went into lockdown, and I think that's when I was like, something has got to change. And I remember I went to the doctors around about that time, obviously before the lockdown. And I just remember, I was just like, I'm so depressed and anxious and I need something from you. And I was really looking externally, and I don't know what it was, but I had this like light bulb moment of, I'm not helping myself, and I have literally lived, you know, like I am not the same person today that I was at the end of my 20s. Like I look back at that girl, and she was, you know, like selfish, and it was all about what has happened to her. And the more you get into the space of well-being and speaking openly about your story and just connecting with other people and diversifying your circle, you realise you are not the only person that's been through shit. There's most people have been through something truly awful that they either talk about, like I do, who, you know, I'm very outspoken, or they don't talk about, and that's why we don't know about everyone's stories, because I have to remind myself that not everyone speaks so openly like I do, which is okay, because we're all different, and that's where I got to, you know. I changed my lifestyle, I knocked the booze on the head, which, you know, knocked the drugs on the head, because it was only like after like 10 beers in that I was just like, hey, this is a great idea. So I didn't have any awareness of what was going on, which is a danger in itself. And yeah, here I am today. I've got Mindset Maintenance, the CIC, and I'm just truly grateful to be here, and I'm just in love with the life I have and with the opportunity to grow every day, and just learning to be kinder to myself.
Okay, amazing.
So yeah.
So I guess there's a lot to unpick there. So you said you was always the joker. Where did that stem from, or was you always trying to be the joker?
God dear. I don't know, you know. I really don't know where it stems from. I think I look at my mum, my aunties, and the family, like all of my family members make me laugh. Like they're all really funny. I do think part of it's like it runs in the family type thing. My granddad used to be a real joker. My mum likes to have a laugh. My mum says some stuff and I'm like, what did you just say? But it's hilarious. Like we got that same kind of, that same, what's it called?
What, personality or?
Personality, where you like the same jokes.
Sense of humour?
Yeah, that's all. Same with my aunties, like they all just do stuff that just cracks me up. But I think, I wonder if I've always been that joker because maybe I was just a person that wanted to be noticed.
Okay.
I don't know why that is. And it's got to stem from somewhere, right? But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was just like a thing of wanting to be validated. That's now kind of turned into who I am. Not because I feel like I need the validation anymore, but actually it's become like a value of mine. And I guess what it is for me today is that I like making people laugh. I like making people smile. And when you go throughout your life and you're telling these jokes and you're pissing about and you get people laughing and everyone's just in the room having a laugh about it, makes you feel good. That's a good thing. I love having that quality about me. That I can just say weird stuff and people are like, what? And I'm like, yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Like, it's just a laugh. I think life is too short not to have a laugh about stuff.
Nice.
And yeah, it's definitely a strong quality of mine that I like to smile and make other people smile, and yeah.
Okay. Would you say you do it more now, or would you say it's sort of leveled out?
I do it now with the right people. It's really weird, right? Throughout my life, I have really flexed my personality dependent on who I'm with. And probably over the last 5 years or so, you kind of realise actually there's the reason you're feeling like you can't have a laugh and that you can't be you is because you're around people that you don't feel comfortable around. And so I've kind of stepped away from the people that I can't have those laughs with, or I can't just be me. Like if I can't be me around someone, then what does that say? And it's easier said than done sometimes. It's really hard to walk away from friendships when they make you feel sad, but at the same time there has been good aspects of it. It's a tough one, but I'm now 34 years old and I'm faced with a group of friends and family that are just there for me as I am them, and they get me, and there was no judgment. I could walk out of a room and I genuinely wouldn't be worried about what was said when I wasn't there.
Nice.
Which is a good feeling to have, you know, and I'm very grateful. And a lot of these friends I've been friends with since I was 16, 17, 18, and to have friends like that for over a decade, I think that's the kind of things that make you rich in life, not money. Like, these things are worth their weight in gold. And I just, what was the question? My brain is, honestly, it's my hormones.
Don't worry about it.
My brain just goes like, duh. What was we talking about? Are you going to cut this bit out?
No, we can keep it. It's all right. We can see. But okay, no, that's fair. No, we went there. I was just letting you sort of like go for it. But okay, I want to touch on something there as well. So we were talking about always being the Joker and how you're not anymore, and how you are around like the right people.
Right, yeah, okay, around the right people.
What I really want to touch on there is when you were younger, you said that you spoke to different groups and you was always the kind of middle person.
Yeah.
How was that for you? Was you a people pleaser, would you say, or not?
Yeah, I think I've always been a people pleaser.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that is like a trauma response. I don't think I probably noticed that I was a people. I don't really, if I'm honest, I don't really know if I was a people pleaser like earlier in life, like in my. I just remember, it's one of these things like we try and unpick so much of our like childhood, and I'm like, I don't really know, like I was just doing me and living, but in my later life, in my 20s, I was definitely a people pleaser. I don't like the thought of confrontation. I can't stand it. But I also think that's a lot of people in the world these days. I just don't. I don't like that uncomfortableness of not being right with someone, But at the same time, I am at this point in life, like I said, where I know who I am, I know what I deserve and how I deserve to be treated. And if someone is treating me like shit, I'll just cut it off. Yeah. That's fine. And I say I cut it off, I think sometimes that sounds harsh if there's no kind of background, there's no substance to it. And actually with these kinds of people, like, I will try and I'll have the conversations and I'll share what is making me feel uncomfortable. And if nothing changes, then you just move on. And I used to get really like, what if I see them in the street? What if this happens? What if we go to the same party? But you just come to realise that this is your life. Like, it's no one else's life. This is your life, and it's up to you. If you want to spend your time around people that don't respect you, that you honestly, I'm not too sure if they're going to be talking about you when you leave the room. Yeah. If you don't feel that safeness with people, like, that's your life. Well, you're going to just carry on spending it with people like that. One day you're going to be 90, hopefully, and looking back and thinking, fuck, I spent so much of my life trying to please people and make people see that I'm worthy or fit inside a box. Like, I don't want to fit in any box now. And I think that's, I was saying with a friend the other day, like, that's one of the joys of growing older, is you just get to the point where you're like, you can like me or not like me. So, yeah, that's your business, not mine. Like, cool. I get it, fair enough.
You said trauma response there. What does trauma mean to you? Let's start there.
I think, so it's interesting, I've been looking into this over, since I lost my aunt in my early 20s, because it's very easy to see things like it's my trauma, it's trauma response, other kind of buzzwords. I don't know if that's the right way to explain it, but it's like, what really is trauma? And for me, I think trauma is having those very clear side effects. I don't really know another word for it because my brain can't think of one, but like having the flashbacks, having the certain physical body symptoms, the fight and flight, connecting other things to my trauma. Like I have to check my flat when I get in it. I have to check every room just in case, but now it's more of a habit, whereas back then it was like checking the room because what if this person that did this horrible thing had broken out of prison, and it was like, that's what my brain did, for ages. It was like, what is happening? I just need to double check that everything's okay. Not being able to walk down a street without checking. Like I'm very observant. Like I'll check, and there are all these things that I think is what I have read up and what I understand to be a trauma response. And there's a really interesting book on it actually called The Body Keeps the Score.
Okay.
And it just talks about the way the body holds trauma. And it's absolutely incredible. And it's just talking about, this flight and fight response and where we're constantly in this state of what's going to happen. And I think when you've been through things in life, like this thing happens, and then a couple of years later this thing happens, and then a couple, and for our family it was very much that at one point, lost my granddad, lost my auntie, something else happened within the family, lost my cousin. So you have to work really hard to get your fight and flight to be like, it's okay, we're okay, like we're safe. And that takes work.
Yeah.
Every single day. Like I'm not consistent. One of the things that I don't believe in with well-being is that I think it's not linear. It's not like this is the start, this is the end. I think there's always ups and downs, and I think a lot of people use the word consistency, and I think consistency is doing something like once a week when actually you were doing it 0 times a week, not doing something every single day. And if you don't do it one of the days, you're a failure. I do a lot of like self affirmations in the morning. I talk to myself in the mirror. I do a lot of tapping. But there are some days that I don't do that. Yeah, EFT tapping, emotional freedom technique. So you just tap through certain points in your body, and it basically, I don't want to go into the explanation because I'm still not too clued up on it, but it basically sends signals through your body to bring you back into your rest and digest state. So to bring you out of fight and flight, and good for trauma release, so I've heard. But it really helps me just bring me down, just calm me, just de-stress. It's been an absolute lifesaver for me.
Wow, fair enough. Okay, so that's what trauma means to you. Okay. So when you was growing up, was you close with your dad? Your biological father?
No, not really. I've always been really close with my stepdad. I call him Dad. He's we've always got along. We bicker a lot, but that's because he just has his own way of thinking, and I have mine. And we all know when you've got two strong heads, hot heads, then that is.
Oh no, fair enough.
What happens?
Okay. So, all right. So I want to dive in a bit to your aunt passing away and your granddad passing away. So are you close with? You're really close to your family, it seems, just by the way you explained them. But how close was you with your aunt? Because that's a really shocking story.
Yeah. We were all really close, and I think after that happens, it just changes you as a person. Like you are not that same person that you once were. And I think that's the same for all of my family, you know. And it's just mad to think about, you know, like I still talk about her, we all still talk about her. But I guess there's a part of it that's just too painful to go to, but I also want to keep her legacy alive because she really did leave a legacy. You know, she did so much work. She worked in publishing, and she got an award named after her by the Independent Publishers Guild because of all of the work that she did with diversity, inclusion. So it's called the Alison Morrison Diversity Award, and it gets awarded to, you know, a company within publishing every year, which is just incredible. And I only found that out last year. But yeah, to answer your question, yeah, very close to my granddad, very close to my auntie. I see a bit of my auntie in me actually. She would like come down from London, and you know, like as a kid you get so excited that your aunts come down and it's like this big thing. And like some of the most fondest memories are like, Auntie Alison's here, and everyone like got mental, and she'd be in my house like just dancing in the hallway, just like gyrating, and I'm like just got home from school and I'm like, what is going on? But it was just like, it was all fun, like it was all fun, games, laughs, and I think we've just got to be grateful that we have those memories because they were just such great memories. Like we went to Notting Hill Carnival a couple of times, and actually that's probably like the last proper time that I saw her, which is, yeah, I guess another one of those painful locked up things. That, yeah, we had a great time, you know, went to Notting Hill Carnival, went around London and all of this stuff. So yeah, I was very close with her.
Okay. And but yeah, when you obviously your coping mechanisms at the time you said were alcohol and drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did it hit the family or did it just hit you? Did you have anyone that was supporting you in the family, or?
Gosh, we had like family liaison officers that were supporting us all, but yeah, it really affected all of us. Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I don't want to go in too much about how it affected them because it's, you know, that's their story. But I think grief hits you, and it hits hard, especially when it's like when you're not aware, when you don't know that it's coming. And it's just, it's mad, you know. And I think grief hits however it happens because, you know, my granddad, we knew he had cancer, and he lasted a long time before he had prostate cancer. It's still hard when you lose them. You know, I remember going up the hospital and helping my granddad eating his dinner, and he got really upset, which is not my granddad at all. He's like, you know, strong man, do everything for himself kind of thing. And that just absolutely broke my heart, you know, helping him eat his dinner. But I just absolutely adored that man. He is like the king of the family, and, you know, just gave the best hugs, and it's all the memories like that you've just got to remember and keep close. You know, I've got one of his, he loved cricket. He loved watching West Indies play cricket. And so I've got like some of his like cricket hats that he's got from Barbados. And, you know, for ages it still smelt like him. And I've just got it in my room. And you've got to keep memories and things like that tight and close to your heart. Because all of a sudden, you know, this world that we know, one day we're going to be gone. And, you know, like there's that song by Macklemore.
Which one's that?
The Last Time. Oh, I'm not going to be able to remember the words now, but the last time, when you actually die, is like the last time someone ever says your name. Like that's when you finally die, is basically what he's saying.
Okay. What does that mean to you?
All about leaving a legacy.
Yeah.
All about leaving a legacy. And I think part of it is that you've got to understand that is life as well. Like you there is going to be one day when someone speaks your name for the last time, and that is the world. And I'd like to think that we go on to something else. I do believe that this can't be all there is, you know. I don't know. I think you have to look at that higher power, where whatever it is that you believe in, whether it's the universe, whether it's God, whether it's you have to believe in something that kind of keeps you strong and carries you through, you know. I'm still trying to figure out what that is.
Okay. I was going to ask, like, what is your relation to death? Do you do you think about it constantly? Because some people do.
I do worry about it probably more than I should, and I'm with my morning affirmations and, you know, telling myself daily that I'm safe. I'm trying to get out of that habit. It's probably not something that I've spoke about much. You know, it's not conversations that.
It's not. You don't typically have them.
Yeah,
I get it.
Like sometimes me and the girls will chat about stuff like that, and me and my family, but it is a scary concept for me, I think, because you are in, you know, we've been in that state of what's going to happen next. I don't want any, like, it's hard to not get that worry, you know. And probably another worry that I had was like, you know, me. I'd never worried about me dying until I carved this life that I really want, that I really like, and now I'm like, I fucking love living. I don't want to die. And then it's like, all of a sudden, you know, it's all going so well, and then your brain's like, we might die one day, and I'm like, can you not? Like, I'm having a great time. I'm just about to jet off to Australia. Like, can you leave it out, please? And I think just, you know, life has a plan for us, and you just got to go with it. You've got to go with it, because you've just got to enjoy where you're at, you know.
Crazy.
So I'm just trying to do more of that. Enjoy this. Enjoy being here right now.
Nice. I mean, I heard a really good quote once, and it stuck with me, and it was like, I think it was Marlon Brando, can't remember, but he was saying that, you know, before we were born, like millions and millions of years happened, and we didn't know a single thing. Yeah. But then when we're gone, you know, you're the same
thing.
You know, so it's just like we're just a wisp, and I was just like, wow. So
we are just so minuscule compared like to everything else in this universe, just like little ants, just like having jobs and shit, and it's mad.
What's a job, you know?
I know, right?
Honestly, enjoy it. That's what we're getting at. Okay, so all right, so hit lockdown. You said you had that turning point. Was it just you saying, I've had enough, or was there actually something there?
I think I've always had like this trigger point. Like, even when I was in my 20s and I was out raving it up, and I was like, I've known people that will just like go out on like 3-4 day benders, and they're just like, yeah, let's do it. There's always part of me that's like, no, one day's enough. Like, I'm going to bed. I need to go to bed. Like, I'm done with this. Like, there was always that adult head that kind of just got to this point that was like, you know, in my very last days of like drinking and all of that stuff, I remember I just had loads of strangers come to my house after the pub. That's a danger in itself, you know, like, who are these people? I don't know them. And it got to like 3 a.m. and it, like, my brain something just, you know, maybe I sobered up, and I was just like, yeah, you all need to leave now. And everyone's like, what? No. And I'm like, yeah, you need to leave. I'm going to bed. Like, you gotta go. I think I'm lucky that I've always had that part of me that's like, we're done. We're done here. You know, relationships. Like, and I think that comes with growth, because, you know, the last relationship that I was in, it wasn't serving me at all. And I just remember being like, no, we can't do this.
Okay.
And it's like, if that was me in a relationship 5 years prior, I probably would have just suffered and carried on with it. Whereas now I'm just like, no, I can't continue dating you. I can't continue being in a relationship with you, because it's not serving me. It's not making me happy. I think I'm lucky to have that trigger point that realises, Bianca, we've been eating McDonald's for dinner for the last 7 days. Now's the time to stop that. You know, I don't. Just for the record, I've never eaten McDonald's 7 days in a row. I think that would make you feel pretty horrific, actually.
There's some days on the road when you're filming. I hear it. I've been there.
Yes.
It's not the greatest.
McDonald's, I don't know how we're getting onto McDonald's. Sorry, that's my fault that I always do that.
What is your relationship to junk food though? Like, that's fast food. How do you feel about fast food?
These days, I try and eat food as fresh as possible. Like, I try, majority of my diet, I try to make fresh, like good, fresh food. Obviously, I love a takeaway. I've always had an emotional relationship with food. Always, yeah. I've always had, and that runs in the family too, is like, I'm stressed, I'm going to eat. I deserve a Chinese. Yeah, today's been a bad day.
I hear it. I was saying, you went into McDonald's then, you were about to say something. But I'll let you land with McDonald's. But I was wanted to know, like, 'cause some people are like, my body's a temple and I only eat raw
fish,
potatoes and all this. So I'm like, I get it, but what about the fun?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Someone's like, should we go for Chinese? I'm like, hell to the yes. Why are you asking me such silly questions? Pizza, and I've also very much since being on this wellbeing journey and starting mindset maintenance. One of the things that I've really been educating myself on is my hormones, my hormone health. I started keeping a diary of my cycles because I realised that after keeping this diary, that once a month I was seriously low, like angry. Really? It was like I just went into this haze of not being me. I was not me, and I just thought I was crying, I was really anxious, I thought everyone hated me, and just... it's some of the word, like, it's no laughing matter, but you almost, hey, UK, we just get through things by making jokes about them. But I was at the beach once, and I was due on, and I remember getting to the beach, we're having a beach barbecue, I left the whole bag of barbecue food at home. It's like a 20-25 minute drive, like, it's just not the one for, there was just no point going all the way back, and I cried my little heart out. Like, it wasn't just like, but I literally was like, like, beside myself. And my auntie was like, ease you on. I was like, yeah, but it doesn't matter, I've left the barbecue food at home. She was like, it's fine, we can just go to the shop's around the corner. But like, I couldn't, it's that like ability that I could not regulate my emotions. And so I looked into it. I probably kept a diary of my cycle for 1 to 2 years, and went private in the end because I worked for a corporate that gave me free private healthcare, so why not? He was like, I was looking into something called PMDD, which is a mood-based a cyclical mood-based disorder. Okay. So it is like a mental disorder, but it comes in line with your cycle. Right. So, now I've worked really hard to make some lifestyle changes, which doesn't always work, but got my symptom days down from like 4 or 5 days to like 2. And some months I can kind of sail through, some months are tricky, but yeah, I got diagnosed with that, PMDD, premenstrual dysphoric disorder. But I just love how aware I am of my body and what's going on with my brain and my hormones, and I probably try and eat as fresh food as possible. Okay. Because obviously eating sugar, eating crap food really doesn't help, but at the same time, if I'm due on and I want a family-sized bar of Galaxy and to just inhale the whole lot, like I'm not gonna deny myself that, because
I get it, because life's too short.
Life is too short for one, and two, like the hormones want what the hormones want. Like, if I get it into my head that, oh my gosh, we could have a Galaxy-sized bar of chocolate, let's go. Like, this in my head, we're not stopping until we've got the Galaxy size, the Galaxy family size, bar of chocolate. Oh, I want one now.
I get it. Okay, I want to dive in there. So, how important is being in control to you?
Very.
Yeah. Would you say it's in? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a control freak.
Okay.
I think I've learned that over the last few years. Yeah.
Okay.
Like we're getting into something now. Like I have to be. If people are like, shall I drive? I'm like, no. I'll drive my car to the place. I don't like being a passenger, to be fair. Like, it makes me sick. It makes me feel sick. But yeah, I like being in control of most things, I guess, because it makes me feel safe. It's safety, it's what I know, which is why it's a huge thing. You know, I'm going off travelling for 6 months, and it's like a huge thing because, and maybe that's why I don't like flying either, because I'm not the one that's flying the plane. I have to sit there and, you know, I have no control over what's going to happen. And yeah, control is definitely a big thing for me.
Okay. Would you say it's increased over the years?
Yeah.
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 Getting quote unquote worse or getting stronger?
I don't know if it's getting worse. I feel like I've probably noticed it more over the last few years, so I can't really gauge if it's getting worse or better, because actually I wasn't aware, you know, self-awareness is only a thing that I've learned over the last few years. So before that, I'm like, was I a control freak? I don't know. I'm sure any of my friends listening to this or family would be like, yes. But I honestly, I don't know. I've noticed it in me over the last few years, for sure.
Fair enough. So I want to touch on there with the alcohol thing. So you said you haven't drank alcohol, or you said you stopped.
Yeah, so I stopped drinking in 2021.
Okay.
But
was that after you found it? Because we'll dive into mindset maintenance soon, but we'll get there. But was that after or before?
So I feel like I was going through like a bit of a life transition.
Okay.
So at this time, that was, do you know what, I founded something called the Support Society, which was mindset maintenance before it rebranded to mindset maintenance. Okay. And that was before lockdown. And then we got into the lockdown. That's when I realised, actually, I don't want to drink anymore. I don't want to. I want to be this. You know, I was transitioning into this new person. I wanted to look after myself more. I wanted to make more of life. I wanted to learn. I wanted to, you know, find more joy. And the joy wasn't in binge drinking on a Saturday night down the pub for me anymore. So yeah, I stopped in. I think I stopped like halfway through lockdown, maybe like 2021 in the beginning of the year. Okay. And I was like trying to moderate. Yeah, I stopped and then I was like, okay, there's this going on. I'm going to try and moderate. Went to Victorious when it came back on after the lockdown, and I got absolutely hammered. I bumped into an old school friend and he was like, take my card, go and buy a jug of Pimm's. I was like, okay. And then through, you know, 2 jugs of Pimm's later, like I had again lost back to the old me, lost all inhibitions, like strangers at my house, don't know what's going on. And I woke up that next morning and I thought, no, I can't do this anymore. And then I had a friend's wedding in the November. And I think I had like 1 or 2 drinks there, but I was already in this place where I was like, I don't even want to. I don't even want to. And I remember I was on a table with all these other single people, and they were like, "What, you don't want to have a shot?" And I was thinking, oh god, the last thing I need is to be on like a judgy table of people that are at me for just not wanting to have a shot. You know, it was like this moment in my life, and I guess. Try not to pass judgment because people don't know what they don't know. Like if you've always lived that kind of life, then you aren't going to understand people that want to stop it. Yeah. And what their reasons are and things like that. I think people are a lot better with people that don't drink these days, but I don't know. My friends are anyway. I don't know about other people's, you know, groups that they're in. But yeah, after that was it.
Okay.
That was it. And I say that was it. I have drunk since then. So when I was in Australia last year, I had a drink. And when I say had a drink, my relationship with alcohol has totally changed. You know, like that was last year that I had a drink, but I can still just come back and go out and not. Like it's not a huge part of my life anymore.
Yeah, you've disassociated.
Yeah, completely. So like, you know, we were in Sydney and I was at the Harbour Bridge and I was like, do you know what? I was like, no rules on this holiday. I'm going to do what I feel like doing at the time and do what brings me joy. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to have Prosecco. Had a Prosecco on the bridge. Like it was lovely. I think we were going, like, this was like 3 p.m. We were going for dinner at 8. Went for dinner. Like I had like soft drinks in between. And then we went to a speakeasy bar. My friend was like, you've got to have this, you know, it's whiskey and they put a whole apple through a blender. And I was like, yeah, I'll give it a go. Like, sure, I think this is like probably quite strong for me. I had like 3 sips and I was like, I cannot do this. I was also massively jet lagged and I thought, guys, I'm going to bed. I'm done here. Like, I'm in a food coma. I'm out. Do you know what I mean? Whereas before, I'd be like, 1 Prosecco, let's get a bottle. Why is no one doing shots? Right, no one's going home until at least 3 a.m. Like, you know, that was my life. And now it's just totally different. I'm like, oh, it's 9:10, guys. I normally have to be in bed at about 9. Otherwise, I'll be cranky the next day. Like, how mad. Yeah. Like, such a transition. So, I'm happy to say that I'm not teetotal. It's funny because when I was drinking, I was like, I always used to say, I'm never drinking again. Whereas now that I'm not drinking, I'm like, no, I'm not going to say I'm never drinking again. But I don't feel the need to do it, you know, every now and then. I'm like, oh, top my lemonade up with a bit of Prosecco and, you know, let me have a sip of what you're drinking.
Yeah.
But
that's
it's
interesting.
just,
Okay, so support, what was the original name of Mindset Maintenance then? You said support
Society.
Support Society. Was that just one day you thought, you know what?
People always expect me to come out with like, they're like, how did you think of the name? And wait for like this strategic answer. And I'm like, my brain just come out with it. It's just, literally just went, support society. Oh yeah, that's good. There's literally nothing behind it. But it just started off as like a group in a local community centre to me, just hired out the hall, got people together. It was almost like Mindset Maintenance Live, but on like a really small scale. Yeah. And then we went into lockdown and that kind of just like, boop, that was that. I did some bits online with the group. It was really nice.
Was that to like bring people together?
Yeah.
Or to talk about like there is...
To talk to each other, to connect, to not have to wear a mask and to not feel like they're being judged, like everyone's there for the same reason. And then I kind of brought like activities into it. So people would come along and talk about the benefits of like using aromatherapy oils or doing a vision board, you know, like all different things. So it was very much mindset maintenance on this small scale. Nice. And then after lockdown, I just rebranded it. I got a website set up, and I just kind of went with it, you know. Yeah. And it's just grown and grown to what it is today, which is mad. Yeah.
How was the journey of growing it after lockdown then? How was that for you?
Amazing, scary, a lot of different things rolled into one, I think. Okay. A lot of different things. And, you know, mindset maintenance, what it is today, like I'm very proud of what it is today. It still doesn't pay me a monthly wage. Like we're all, it's a volunteer-led organisation, which is truly incredible. But part of me is glad that I don't have to rely on an income from it, because I love being able to have the passion, which I think you start to lose when you're needing to get paid from it, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Like I have paid myself from it. Normally tends to be after the live events. I'm like, right, I'll put a bit of consultancy charge in there. But otherwise, I think that's another thing that's, you know, made me realise that I worked in corporate for like over a decade, and it was all like money, and I left corporate last year. It was the best decision I ever made. It was the scariest thing, but like jump and a net will appear. One of my friends told me at the time that I worked with. And it literally does, like everything works out. I'm on like half the wages that I was on in corporate. And it works. Like it just works. And I have like this freedom, you know? So whilst I was saying that I am a control freak, like, to answer your question, maybe it is getting better because I have this ability now where I'm not as scared as I used to be. If you told me like 10 years ago we're going to go travelling around Australia, I'd be like, no, I'm not getting on a plane for 22 hours, no way, that's too scary. But I'm doing it, you know? And I think getting into the world of looking after your well-being, developing yourself as a person, growing as a person, like it's life-changing. And I'm now doing these things that I never thought I would do. I never thought I'd start a CIC because I thought, imposter syndrome just got me, and it still does, but you just learn to work through it. You just learn to control the chimp in your head that's telling you, no, that's, all your brain is really doing is trying to protect you, but you've almost just got to be like, calm down, Jim, whatever his name is in my head, we're gonna be fine, it's gonna be all right. So yeah, I'm just doing all of these incredible things I never ever thought I'd be doing.
Crazy. Wow.
It is pretty crazy.
Yeah. So what is the goal of mindset maintenance then?
The goal of mindset maintenance, and something that I've really realised over the last couple of years of doing it, is it's really about quality and not about the quantity. I think naturally when you start a business or a non-profit organisation or whatever it is, there is that question of where do you see yourself in 5 years and the growth of this, but actually I don't think growth needs to be the number of people. I wish I'd knew this before booking the event at the Guildhall this year, but it needs to be like the quality of the people that are getting that message, If I just had, so we've got Mindset Maintenance live on the 1st of September. We've got a huge focus on neurodiversity, on hormone health, on the power of community and getting people together. If we had that event, whilst my accounts manager, Hannah, would not agree with this, if we didn't sell all those tickets and just helped like 50 people and they got real life-changing help and literally left that night and was like, I can see clearer, I can see a new path, I can get out of a toxic relationship, I can take control of my hormones, or I found a community, and they are changing big parts of their lives. Fuck, that's what it's all about. Like, that is what it's all about. Not about how many people can we reach and have like fucking surface level conversations and like look like we're doing huge stuff when actually, the quality of those conversations and those encounters and those connections, that's what it's all about. Like, that is what it's all about. 100%.
That's big. So you'd really quality over quantity.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm glad I've realised that now.
Yeah. So that's the goal of it. So that's where you see it in the future then. So more downsizing or like streamlining?
Yeah, a bit of both.
Yeah.
Yeah, just having better quality connections, real quality connections, real life-changing experiences, and looking more at what the community needs, rather than just putting stuff on and like throwing mud at a wall hoping some of it sticks type thing. We did a bit of like question feedback off the back of the live event last year, asking what people needed. So we've listened to that and just kind of researched on what's trending, on what's hot, on what needs a bit of focus. So just doing more of that really, and just
Nice.
bringing people together.
No,
Collaborating with other people as well. I think that's a really important thing. There's so many people in Portsmouth that are doing such amazing things, and I think a lot of us just have that one goal in mind, which is just to help people. So let's collaborate and do that together. Mindset Maintenance, we're already collaborating with a lot of different people. We've got a lot of exhibitors that are at the live event this year. Spark Community Space. We've got the Parenting Network, Dad's Club. We've even got gyms. We've got Revive Fitness and Revive Health in Southsea. So many different organisations that are going to be there, which is going to be epic.
Big. So that's an interesting point. I really want to dig in there. Well, not too much, but what's it like to actually put on an event?
Really fucking hard.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you. It is hard. Plus, I'm this person that feels stressed. Like, I get really overwhelmed and really like flustered, But I've learned to work with it. My morning affirmations definitely help with that. Wake up in the morning. I'm like, it's fine. We're learning every day. I just think I could have not done it at all. I could have not even tried. But instead I'm here, I'm just getting up every day, I'm just learning, and I'm just trying, and I'm just doing it. And do you know what the funny thing is? As humans, we're so hooked on the outcome. Like, what's it going to be like? What's it actually like? I always try and remember, what is the worst thing that can happen? Like, what? We don't sell all the tickets and we're a bit out of pocket? Okay. Like, that can be solved. We'll just do some fundraising. It's a real love-hate relationship with me and events. They stress me sometimes, but at the same time, I bloody love them. And to see that end goal, and that's what it's all about. Like, doesn't matter how we're getting there. That end goal and seeing those people be helped and seeing the light switch go off and oh my gosh, I can do that. This person's gone through a similar journey to me. I can do what they're, that kind of stuff. That's what the feedback, The last 2 live events, we got feedback that they stopped 2 people that were thinking about taking their own lives. That's massive. That makes it worth it, And that's just 2 people. So yeah, it's hard, but you gotta try. I think you gotta try not to take it too seriously, which I'm still learning. I'll be honest. I'm still learning, but we're getting there.
Nice. Well, yeah. So I guess we'll wrap it up there. Okay. So where can we find you? How can we get in touch?
So I'm on Instagram as I am Bianca Louise _, or Mindset Maintenance is just Mindset _maintenance on Instagram, or mindset-maintenance.co.uk. Which is where you can get tickets for the live event. Yeah. I didn't even ask. I mean, we've just rounded it up, but you said you're a fitness coach, or you do body. Is it body combat? Body combat. Yeah.
How did that come about?
That got me through a really dark time. Actually, I passed as a body combat instructor the year after I lost my auntie, so I was learning through that. I was doing my exercise to fitness, the level, the ground level for becoming an instructor. When I found, when we got told the news, so, and I still, I still know my college lecturer that taught me it, and she was like, you persevered through, I told you could have an extension, but you got it done, you passed it with flying colours, and then I've been a combat instructor for the last 10 years, a decade now, which is fucking mad. But I love it, but I am taking a break from it at the moment. I'm taking a break because it's a lot to learn choreography. We have a new release every quarter, so I'm missing out this release. I don't have a permanent class at the moment, but I'm going to be going back after the live event to teach classes. So yeah, it's just a big love of mine.
Amazing. And just on that with fitness, sorry, I'll probably insert this somewhere as well.
Yeah.
But just with fitness, you said, I've seen on socials that you've been doing running and stuff.
Yeah.
How does running make you feel?
I'm really glad that I found running. I've been a girl that all through my life I'm like, I'm going to try and run because I should, because everyone else does it. And then, I don't know, right? I felt like I got myself in a bit of like a tough patch earlier this year. And I thought, I just want to try and run. And I don't know, I just got hooked this time. I just got hooked, like music in, like just clear my head. And now if I'm feeling like things are feeling a bit tough, just get the shoes on, get the trainers on, just run.
Yeah.
Literally just move my body. And yeah, I can like run. I'm really chuffed with myself. I can run like 5k without stopping.
Nice.
Which I'm really proud of. So I'm now just like building my time up.
Yeah.
Which is, yeah.
Amazing.
I'm really chuffed with that.
Oh, I'm excited to see it. Well, yeah, Bianca, we'll round it off there. It's been great.
It's been amazing. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for letting me in and hearing more about the story. And I look forward to seeing what happens next.
Yeah, me
and
too.
we'll catch up soon.
Yes.
All right.